living.
We living? Are you not back? Yeah, it's quiet though. So I wasn't gonna do a prediction stream for Money in the Bank weekend, but then I kind of got myself caught up in fantasy booking. Also, I didn't know that they were gonna that AAA had its own the Worlds Collide, not the AAA NXT. You can say it's WWE. Chad Gable's in yeah. Anyway, Worlds Collide also has a segment. I don't know who's gonna win what. That's not my actual job. We're just making guesses, guys. But yeah. So this weekend, the 7th. What day even is it? The 5th. The 7th of June is Worlds Collide and Money in the Bank. I don't know where I'm going with this. Let's look at the cards. I'm in second. I'm doing well. I did really well on what's this called? All in, all out, double or nothing. One of them. I thought they were gonna push Osprey. I thought it's time to push Osprey, and like at some point it's gonna have to be time to push Osprey. But if they push Hangman into the spot instead, that's fine too. It still makes sense. It was a 50-50. And I missed the coin toss. There's only one person above like at one. So only one person picked Hangman. Or picked Hangman and didn't screw up the rest of the card. Didn't screw up anything in the rest of the card, which is crazy. No, I'm not gonna open because names. But let's not dox folk. But we have for AAA, Lucha Libre AAA, and WWE crossover event, their first crossover event since the announcement of the deal to acquire Lucha Libre AAA by WWE. The first show, first joint show of both promotions. Words are difficult, okay? We have a 5-match card for that. We have in a 6-man tag match, we have the Latino World Order of Dragon Lee, Cruz del Toro, and Lince Dorado. What happened to Dragon Lee? Did Dragon Lee get injured? He's on the poster! That must have been a very recent change. I don't remember reading anything about that. Hold on. I'm not against it. I like Lince. I'm just surprised. Because I also like Dragon Lee. And him being taken off the card could imply potentially an injury or something else of that nature. I don't see anything about it being Lince. Lince Dorado. Oh! It's not Dragon Lee, that's how it's I didn't read that correctly. It's Joaquin. DJZ is out. Right. He got knocked out during a speed taping. And they're probably just being cautious to make sure he didn't. Okay, that makes sense. So, Dragon Lee, Cruz del Toro, and Lince Dorado not Joaquin, versus Octagon Jr., Aerostar, and Mr. Iguana. We have a tag team match between Stephanie Vaquer and Lola Vice against Chic Tormenta and Dalis. We have a fatal 4-way for the North American Championship between Ethan Page, Javon Evans, Lindsay Dorado, and Ray Phoenix. Ray Phoenix? That's how you pronounce that. I will try my best, okay? I'm trying harder than the fucking announcers in WWE, okay? And then we have a tag team match between Legado del Fantasma of Santos Escobar and the Garza Boys, Angel Humberto, against Dr. Wagner, El Hijo del Dr. Wagner Jr., Pagano, and Psycho Clown. And of course, for the AAA Mega Championship, we have Hijo del Vikingo versus Chad Gable. So we have 2 championship matches on here. This card seems very straightforward. Fairly straightforward, I should say. Let's start at the top. So Hijo del Vikingo is almost definitely going to retain here against Chad Gable. I'm gonna talk about these trio matches in tandem. We're gonna go to to the NXT World Championship, North American Championship, not World Champion. Look, it's late, okay? Fatal 4-way, Ethan Page defending against Javon Evans, Laredo Kid, and Ray Phoenix. I do think Ethan Page is going to retain here. I think it is going to be a lot of shenanigans involved. I don't think it's going to be a clean win. Let's get that straight. It's not going to be a clean win in the slightest, but I do think he is going to find a way to shenanigans himself into a retention. Yeah, I don't see either of the belts moving. Not yet, anyway. I don't see it going to Ray Phoenix, because that seems like a demotion for him. I don't see it going to Javon just yet, and I don't see Laredo Kid getting it, because I don't see it just jumping brands yet. I don't see any titles jumping brands yet. I said that about the TNA Championship, though, and I was proven wrong. So, who fucking knows? Then we have Stephanie Vaquer and Lola Vice versus Chic Tormenta and Dalis. This actually... Oh, shit. Oh, man. Just broke the nose pad on my glasses. Well, that's fun. Anyway. I will have to fix that later. Gosh darn it. Anyway, this match will have implications on Money in the Bank, because Stephanie Vaquer is in the Money in the Bank ladder match, which is going to be later that night. She's pulling double duty that day. As is totally not Chad Gable. Never mind, Chad Gable is not pulling double duty. What are you talking about? They're different folk. Anyway, I think if she loses this match, that greatly increases her chances of winning Money in the Bank. If she wins this match, though, it doesn't really make a difference. Her chances are still kind of middled. We'll get to that when we get to the Money in the Bank card. I am actually annoyed that this broke. I don't really know who's gonna win this match, to be honest. If I were to take a guess, I would probably go with the AAA ladies. And I think that's what I will put my pick down on. And now we have these 2 trios matches. I fully suspect if the one WWE trio will win, one WWE trio will lose. This then begs the question, which one do I think is going to be which? And my immediate instinct is I think Legado del Fantasma is going to lose. I feel like that's the story that they're telling. The eventual breakup of Legado del Fantasma. But could be wrong here at this, and I'm pulling the trigger a little too quickly on them breaking up or losing this match to further that breakup, or at least Berto leaving. It could be. What was their last match and did they win? I think that was like last SmackDown. And I'm fairly certain they lost. When is Triple Regia? Hold on. That's after this, right? June 15th. Yeah, that's the week after. Because I know the Garza Boys were announced to be... I think the Garza Boys were announced to be working on that show. So that would suggest they wouldn't break up just yet. So let's say Legado del Fantasma wins. That would imply Latino World Order loses. Yeah, that makes sense. For the record, if you never heard me talking about some of these lucha folk from AAA or CMLL, some of these lucha folk in general, AAA, CMLL, Independent, I love lucha libre. It's my favorite kind of wrestling, of pro wrestling. It's all the flippiness and it's fun. I have a special spot for a lot of AAA talent because I really loved Lucha Underground. And they had a lot of AAA talent in Lucha Underground. This included Ray Fenix, Pentagon, and Aerostar, and who else in this batch? No one else in this batch. But then there's also guys like Ricochet, Killer Cross, Karrion Kross. There are a lot of folk who I'm always rooting for, and a lot of them are Lucha Underground alumni. Not all of the Lucha Underground alumni. It turned out there were some trash folk in that group. It's wrestling, it happens. When stuff started coming out, turns out XYZ, trash human being, and Alberto Del Rio is something like that. Also, fuck that guy. Notable prick Alberto Del Rio. But yeah, I have a very soft spot for lucha things. This will be like the first time I get to really gush about lucha things in a more mainstream capacity, or a more Americanized capacity, let's say. I think I did talk about this a bit. My apprehensions with like if the spirit of lucha libre. Well, I mean, there's always CMLL. There will always be CMLL. Good fucking luck trying to put them out of business. But they've been around for just so freaking long. It'd be crazy if they got pushed out of business. But I've talked about it before that like I want to see a lot of like the traditionally lucha libre things. Exoticos and mini estrellas and Tomico matches and mixed tag team championships, trios matches, all that to stay like relevant, and like the importance of, for example, mask versus mask matches or mask versus hair matches, luchas opuestas in general. Yeah. And I've even mentioned before that like Aerostar is one of my was one of my favorite wrestlers for a while because of Lucha Underground. And yeah, just saying, to see guys like Iguana or Octagon Jr. or Laredo Kid getting opportunities that I wouldn't see. There's this, Lady Maravilla. There's, I actually can't remember if Fabio Apache is still with AAA or not. Or Lady Shani. I think Lady Shani, I'm pretty sure is. But there are still a lot of names and a lot of wrestlers, even if, you know, this AAA, there's still wrestlers who are like cool and who I want to see succeed. Yeah. Actually, Joaquin Wilde is one of them, and I'm disappointed to hear that he is out and that he is potentially injured, but it happens. But yeah, that's my pick for those are my picks for Let's Collide. Let's lock that in, and let's go over Money in the Bank real quick. Dashboard. Let's look at Money in the Bank. Yeah, this is not comfortable. If you've ever had the nose pad on your glasses break on you, it sucks. And continue to wear it. It's okay. So 4 matches on this card, very short card. We have our two Money in the Bank ladder matches. For the men's, we have Sokoa versus LA Knight versus Penta versus Seth Rollins versus Andrade versus El Grande Americano. And then for the women, Alexa Bliss versus Roxanne Perez versus Rhea Ripley versus Julia versus Naomi versus Stephanie Vaquer. They've really they're really committing right away to those NXT call-ups on among the ladies that they called up. So Vaquer, Julia, and Roxanne. I won't say surprised, but I'm astonished how quickly they're pushing them all, considering there are other NXT call-ups who have not been pushed that quickly. But we'll see how things go in the long term. In addition to the Money in Bank matches, we have a tag team match between John Cena and Logan Paul versus Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso. And we have an Intercontinental Championship match between Lyra Valkyria and Becky Lynch, with the additional stipulation that if Lyra Valkyria wins, Becky will never challenge for the Intercontinental Championship again, as so long as Lyra is holding it. And should Becky Lynch win, Lyra must raise her hand and recognize her as the better person, better woman, whatever. That one is a bit of a 50-50 ball. I don't know who to pick. Let's start at the top, because I'm still thinking about this one. We have our ladder match. This one seems... The current champions are John Cena and Jay. I don't see, outside of Americano winning it as a joke, I don't see Seth not winning it. Or to play, rather, Americano winning it to play up the joke that he is not Chad Gable, and thus Chad Gable does not get the Money in the Bank opportunity. But it's not as if they haven't just had people give the contract to someone else before, so who knows? But realistically, I don't see Seth not winning it. It just seems like the right choice. Like, I don't see Solo winning it. I don't see Knight winning it. I don't see Andrade winning it. Penta, not, I don't think they pushed him into the main card scene yet. So I don't see him getting it. Seth seems like the obvious answer. So I'm going to pick Seth. The women's match is way more in the air, in my opinion. Other than, I don't think Rhea Ripley needs it, and thus she should not have to win it. She doesn't need it to be in the main event scene. I think it is gonna be an astronomical push for particularly Stephanie Vaquer. Because that would be like her second or third match on the main roster, or as a main roster member, to have won Money in the Bank. That'd be fucking crazy. I don't really see Roxanne winning it right now, just because she is getting caught up in in Judgment Day shenanigans. Julia is in kind of the same boat as Stephanie Vaquer. It would be an astronomical push for her to win it right now. I think I'm leaning towards Alexa Bliss or Naomi as a result. I think I'm leaning more towards Alexa Bliss. But the thing is, especially with Alexa, I don't know where her character is going right now. They haven't really... They're kind of building some seeds of some kind of feud or program or tag team. I don't really know. With Charlotte? And Naomi would be a fun pick, but then that's both heels winning Money in the Bank, which I don't know if that will happen. Who are the current champions? It's Io Sky and it is Tiffany Stratton, who is on Raw. Vaquer, Roxanne, and Rhea, with Julia, Alexa, and Naomi on SmackDown. I really am just debating, is it gonna be Alexa or is it gonna be Naomi? If it goes to Naomi, then we have to get the... Actually, if it goes to Naomi, however long it is until she cashes in, and then that will culminate the feud between her and Jade, which could make sense. But it really kinda pushes Tiffany Stratton out of the picture pretty quickly and fairly aggressively. If it's Alexa, I don't know what direction they go. And I just don't know if it's too early for Roxanne and Julia and Stephanie. I think I'm gonna go with Naomi. Just because I convinced myself when I said if she wins the belt and then Jade comes in and then that title feud and then Jade becomes champion. That would be dope. Tag match. Then we have Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso versus John Cena and Logan Paul. This one seems pretty straightforward. John Cena is gonna win. Cena wins, lol. This is a fairly inconsequential match, but it plays into the whole Jey Uso is the storyline for Jey Uso being too nice as a champion, and he needs to focus more on defending his championship and not and whatever the fuck else that Gunther's been saying. He does have a match defending the World Heavyweight Championship against Gunther the following Monday, if I'm not mistaken. June 9, yeah, following Monday. So that I fully expect him to retain. I think that's the through line. He loses this match, maybe some tension between him and Cody. I don't know who eats the pin, but it's probably gonna be Jay. And then he does retain against Gunther on Monday. Or maybe he doesn't. I don't know. I actually wouldn't be against him losing it to Gunther on Monday. And just building the story of he wasn't ready. At which point could potentially feel a heel turn, could potentially fuel just a big comeback win at like maybe SummerSlam or something, or whatever the next Saudi show is between Jay and Gunther. Yeah, but for now, I think that yeah, he's losing the match. He's probably gonna be the one to eat the pin. John Cena and Logan Paul win. And that brings us down to Becky Lynch versus Lyra Valkyria. This one is less obvious to me than the last one. It could well be Becky. Like, it was super obvious to me that at Backlash, she's trying to get Lyra over. Becky is doing everything she can to push Lyra to the moon. But the additional step, in particular, the having to raise the other person's hand, is what's making me think Becky might win it. Whether that be via shenanigans, like interference or something, or not, I think that leans more towards Becky. That stipulation leans more towards Becky winning the match. I also think this will be the second match in this feud. Not their second match ever between the two of them, because also the NXT Championship. And that would even the score for this feud. I think it does just make more sense for Becky to win. Whether that builds up Lyra eventually winning again, defeating her, or if that builds Bayley coming back in any way, either as an ally or as an enemy, I don't know. We'll find out. But I think for now, we're gonna go for Becky Lynch. I don't think I'm gonna double down on that. I think I'm gonna double down on this, even though it's worth a little less. It's 2 points for a championship match, 1 point for everything else. But that feels safer. Yeah, we lock all that in. And with that, we have Money in the Bank and Worlds Collide all picked. Yeah. I'm gonna go into BRB real quick, and see if I can resolve something, find a solution for these classes, and I will play some Fantasy Life. So I shall return.